Okay, Captain Karl again. Give us your overall viewpoint of the team's performance on Sunday against Invicta.
Result was great. I think after the two games we've had with them in the past, the home game when they drew us 5-all, and the game where we only just beat them 6-5, I think we did quite well to get a result, and possibly not to be a lot more on the scoreline. I think we had opportunities. I think Danny Hammond had a good couple of breakaways saved on him where normally you'd expect Danny to pull him away. Things don't always come off like they did, but 10-4 was it? Is still a good result against a team who are going to be pushing for that second spot. I think behind us when we managed to get the next 2 points we need to take this league title. But I think boys worked well. I think lads stepped up. We've had a couple of knocks early on in the game. A couple of lads carrying injuries already, and I think the youngsters. I think Sean Martin played really well. He's had a couple of games where I think sometimes he's over-trying, which is not helping him too much, instead of letting things come his way, and things came his way on Sunday, and he's got a couple of goals, and a good couple of goals. I think he's played really well, and I think if his enthusiasm stays with him for the rest of the year, which it's been there all year, but sometimes you get them chances to shine and show your depth. But I think in the last couple of games he's come strong and he's done quite well. Same with Brazy, Ross, Aylin, Foskett. Them 4 kids have played well all season and have pretty much helped wrap this up for us. So hopefully in the next couple of weeks we'll be bringing the trophy back.
And with regards to recent week performances, how do you feel the team's gone on overall again? Certain matches like Texas Tigers match and Lee Valley, and how do you feel the team performed?
I think the Lee Valley games, both games home and away against Lee Valley, we seem to struggle to start with, and it's taken us about a period and a half to get into our strides, and when we have, we've broke away from the closeness in the game, and we've built a hefty lead, and we've carried on right to the end. Once that 60 minutes is up, I think the results have shown that we've been a good team, but we are a better team overall. I think there's a lot more to come, and I keep saying it every time we have these interviews, that I think when we do hit our full potential, I think there'll be a lot of scared teams who won't want the players, who have the players. But until we're running out of games at the minute, and I think if we do that in the last 5 or 6 games, I think our points tally and our results are going to show what a good team we are. So hopefully you'll see that from us in the next couple of weeks. As far as our White game, we was expecting. Well, we did get 2 tough games out of them. The first result, the Saturday's result, didn't really show how close a game it was or how tough a game it was. And we went to the Isle of Wight, we was missing a couple of bodies, a couple of players had knocks again, short on defencemen. We had a bit of a penalty moment on the Saturday's game, but I think all the boys who turned up, we had a good trip. We had a great team trip as far as the ferry crossing and the shenanigans we got up to. But everything went in our favour, and they added a couple of new players. Jason Coles for one. He makes a big difference on anybody's team. But we managed to keep him at bay, and we got away with a good result in a hard ring to play, I think. So all being well, that'll set us in good stead for the rest of the season.
And going to that Vectors match at home, how do you deal with BT when he's in that sort of situation, that sort of mood? How do you deal with him as a captain and as a teammate?
To be honest, you've just got to try and get on the right side of him to try and calm him down. I think once something like that happens, if it was me or if it was anybody else who took a cross check to the back of the head like he did, I think anyone's going to flip. And maybe if some other person did it on our team, you could maybe sit them down and take him to one side a bit quicker than we managed to get hold of BT. But BT is his own person, and I think if you've ever watched BT over the years, I think he's got that fiery instinct about him. And I think once that red mist comes down, I think there's not many people, i.e. myself, Richie, our assistant coach, Capsy, Dino, I don't think there's anybody who could maybe, until we got him in the dressing room, to really just reflect on what happened, and maybe BT probably thinks that he went about his business a bit wrong. But when things like that happen and you're in such an environment where there's people shouting at you and there's the fans are shouting and you can hear it and it all gets on top of you, I think it's quite hard to set yourself back when you're in that frame of mind from what you're going to do and how you want to do it. So I think BT was well within his rights. I just think he realises now and maybe looks back on it and thinks that he could have maybe gone about it in a different manner, but what can you say? These things happen.
Was anything said to BT to like get him to react a little bit extra, a bit over the top?
No, I don't think it was. I think it was just. I think when someone does something like that to you, and it was kind of, if he was on the ice and you watched it, or you've seen, maybe it's on the DVD, if you managed to see them things, and you do see if it was blatant, and he did take one in the back of the head, which I thought he did, but maybe from where I was sat, or other people can maybe tell you different, maybe it didn't look as bad, or it was as bad as it was as portrayed. But I just think when you do have people who are running around the ice and on opposing teams giving out spears or slashes, and you confront them, and then they're quick to chirp or they're quick to mouth off at you, or even to maybe give you another chop with a stick or something like that, and you challenge them back, and then they decide to hide behind 5 teammates or go and sit on the bench and not want to get involved with it. I think it does rally, it does make your blood boil a bit, and I don't think BT needed anyone else saying anything else to him about what had happened, because I think in his head he knew what had happened, and as BT does, which he does good, and it's been good for us, and it's nice to know that you've got someone in your team like that who will back you up to the hill and stand up for what he thinks is right for you and himself. So I think he's done the right thing, to be fair. maybe not in the right manner, but I think if he'd have stayed on the ice, I think the kid who did it to him had maybe got his comeuppance in one way or another. So, but you probably have to ask BT about that one.
And obviously the potential of picking up the league trophy or like winning it against Swindon on Saturday. If and when you get the league trophy, are you going to have to lift it yourself, or are you going to give it to someone to have the first lift?
I haven't really thought about it. I'm much one of them people who'd rather think about that the day it happens. If I know the trophy's going to be here, obviously I'd love to lift it myself, and if people in the team want me to do that, I'll do that. I've got an idea. I'd possibly like to pass it to one other person on our team. I'm not going to say names yet, but or even do a joint if it's. I mean, I've had an association with Chelmsford now for a few years, and I've been gone a couple of years, and I've come back, and gone again, come back again. But there's still a team which I do have a lot of time for, and would like to see after this season, when we do get promoted, that things do move onwards and upwards for them. So to be a part of a team what has won a trophy for Chelmsford, it'd be nice as well. For me, it's my first time as a captain for a team to lift one myself, to be honest. But we'll have to see when the trophy does get delivered what happens in that. So we shall see.